Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm so very glad you're here today. It is the beginning of November and Christmas Eve will be here tomorrow. Or at least that's what it feels like to me. Does it feel like that to you? I don't know. Anyways, I've bought something. I've bought gift tags. 200, not 200. How many? 120 to be exact. I'm not going to paint 120 of them with you. Although I might. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I have painted 3 to show you how to make your own gift tags so you don't have to buy them. Because homemade gifts and gift tags and cards are so fun. Anyways, if you want to learn how to do it, stick around and I'll show you. I just love how the sun is shining in through my window here. Anyways, we are going to start with a fun little penguin. And we are going to draw him by first making an elongated oval. Think of Minion, if you will, and think of how Minions look. They are long, rounded on top, and rounded on the bottom. And that is what we're doing here. I erased that because I wanted to bring it down just a little bit because we're going to put a cute little Santa hat on our penguin to make him a festive and in the Christmas spirit. But anyways, you're just going to make him look sort of like a minion. Next, we are going to give him wings, little flappers on the side. You're going to go about halfway up the side of his body, and you're going to give him wings. I know they are not even. I know they do not look like they're attached, but in the end, they will be, and it will look like they are attached. So these are just the bones of the penguin. I think this penguin is going to be, or at least this particular gift tag might be the most difficult one you do today, but it's still fairly easy, guys. You're going to want to draw his feet here. Each foot is going to have 3 toes. His first foot I didn't like it. It was real fat. It looked like it got stung by a bee. So I went back and erased it and gave him a smaller foot. We are going to start giving him his little Santa hat. I just thought of what a hat look like, and that's just the way I started drawing it. And yeah, that's really that simple. Think of a Santa hat and how it looks. I went back and kind of put a little bit of a point on it instead of it being more flat. Kind of just, humped that over. Next, we're going to give this little penguin some eyeballs, and we're going to give him rainbow eyes. Just right over. And then his little beak, I made him a little beak, but I went back and erased it, and I decided he needed a bigger one. So you put whatever size you want on it. Next, we're going to do a Christmas tree. It is literally a triangle. That is it. Just a long triangle on a piece of paper. Oh, don't forget to give it a trunk. Just boop, boop on either side. Next, we are going to do a candy cane. It's going to be so cute. Anyways, you're going to start with a shepherd's hook. You're just going to start on the outside. I find that to be the easiest, and then work your way on to the inside. I don't know why I think the outside is the easiest. I decided I wanted it to be more curved at the end, so I just erased the tip of it and just curved it more downwards. And then for my guidelines, for my stripes, I just went ahead and drew them. And you can do this if you want to, or you don't have to. I just find it to be a little bit easier just to kind of know where my red and white go. Now comes the fun part. We're going to get to painting. Don't look too hard at my palette here. It needs to be cleaned really bad. Excuse that Q-tip. I used that a couple weeks ago on a different project. I had to throw it away. Anyways, you're going to spritz water on your palette to get your colors all moist and ready to go, guys. Anyways, just set that to the side. You are going to take a green. I messed with 2 different greens here. I decided to go with the lime green, the grass green. And you're going to put wet on dry, not wet on wet, wet paint on dry paper. And you do not want to stay inside the lines. I know it can be, you want to be in control. just throw that out the window. Get outside the lines. It'll be okay. Purposefully do it. It will make your tree look so good. If you don't want to do that, it's fine. You can make it uniform and it can be all in one, triangle. That's fine too. You do you. You put your personality into it. But as you can tell, I'm definitely getting out the lines and just kind of filling it all in there. Then you're going to take a smaller brush and dip it into various colors and flick it or tap it onto your piece of paper to give it a ornament look. I used red and blue and neon orange and purple and yellow. And I think it turned out pretty cute. Don't forget to paint your tree trunk. I just used a brown. Use any brown you want and just fill it in there and let it dry. Lastly, I put a little star up at the top. I just put a drop of yellow and kind of just brushed it out a little bit and then flicked the excess onto my tree. And that's it. That's all you do with your Christmas tree. The candy cane, you need, of course, red and white. You could use pink or whatever you wanted to, really. But traditionally, red. And you just fill those in. You just color into the lines here. Fun story. When I was a kid, my grandfather used to get these huge candy canes for Christmas. They were like 1-pounder candy canes. I don't know. It was like a foot long and really, really big and around. And he would chip away at it until he ate it all. He kept it in the refrigerator. Do y'all remember those things? I don't know. Anyways, all right. So you are going to take white and you're going to just fill in the spaces in between your red. If you get red in your white, that is okay. I think it adds a little character to your candy cane. You're just going to have to go with it, guys. This is where perfection comes to die, right here. You can't always manipulate everything. Anyways, after you get done filling in your spaces, you want to go in. You can leave it like this if you want to, or you can give your candy cane a shadow, and you're just going to take a charcoal gray color and very lightly go along the edge of your candy cane, and then you're just going to want to blend it out a little bit. I think it kind of gives it a little bit of a 3D effect, really neat looking. But like I said, if you don't want to do this, you want to leave your candy cane as is on paper, that's completely fine and understandable. Lastly, we're going to do the penguin. You are going to take black because penguins are typically black. And you're going to go all around the edge in between the small oval and the big oval. And you're going to paint the penguin. I started with a big brush and I ended with a smaller brush because I just found it to be a little bit easier to manipulate. And then when you get done with that, let it dry. And I realized when I started recording again, it didn't get the beak and the feet. Just paint those an orange color. Next, work on the hat. Of course, it's going to be red. And you're going to fill all that in. Let that dry before you move on to the next step. The next step is putting white paint onto your brush. You're just going to want to glob it on there. It's going to be thick, guys. And put it all on the front of the rim of his hat. Just kind of make it look fluffy there and make his little cotton ball on the end of his hat look fluffy. Lastly, you're going to take a very fine point pen. I bought these in a big package at Walmart for less than $10, and you're going to want to trace around your penguin just to kind of give him a uniformed look. Make sure you give him his eyes, trace his eyes and his beak, all of that. And that is it. And that is your penguin. Thank you for sticking around, and I've enjoyed these. I hope you have too. Happy painting, guys.